My name is Josh Lamora. Hi, my name is Zach Akoska. My name is Donovan Benoit.
This is Rob Emery.
My name is Zach Daniels.
My name is Max Troiani.
And you're watching
the Birds Broadcasting Network.
You're watching the Birds Broadcast Network.
Hey, we're not going to start the Bird's Eye View pregame show saying how many straight losses there has been, because now a one-game winning streak for the Orleans Firebirds. Hello, everybody. Welcome into Eldredge Park. Scotty Gange alongside team writer Alec Hendon. Alec, last night was fantastic. A 6-3 win over the Brewster Whitecaps at home to stop that losing streak.
Scotty, I'll just say one word. It was necessary.
Yeah.
Orleans has just not been getting the roles. They hadn't been playing well the last 6 games. Get back home playing a team that they are probably better than, and they took care of business. They were very patient against Chance Huff, who their starter. He was very erratic. They waited him out. Even though they fell behind early, they were able to take the lead back in the first inning, and they just never looked back. And it's good to finally do one of these after a win. It's been a little while.
Isaac Escada was the player of the game last night. 8 strikeouts, 6 innings, all of this out of the bullpen. No earned runs, no runs allowed at all, no walks either. The southpaw out of USC, he was fantastic, absolutely fantastic. What can you say more about him?
You said it for me. He was fantastic. He did everything the team wanted him to do and more. Remember when we were talking earlier today, he said he thought he'd go 2 or 3 innings yesterday. Yeah. He ends up going 6 because he was just so efficient and so dominant. He saved a bullpen that has been overworked and just hasn't been too effective lately, because today is game number 13 without an off day. And if you can win a game with only using 2 pitchers in the Cape League, you feel pretty good about your stuff. And they're playing another team who's trailing them in the standings that they'll need to beat today if they want to just feel a little more comfortable, because they haven't been very comfortable since they were in first place, and then 6 straight losses happened, and it's just they're looking for optimism right now, and I think they're finding it a little bit. The homestand's going well so far, and another opportunity today against Harwich.
Yeah, let's talk about Harwich tonight. You know, they're a team that's kind of in the middle of the pack. They're a team that's known well for their pitching and not known well for their hitting, but Joey Weimer Jr. is the guy on their offense. What do we know more about him?
Yeah, he's very impressive. He leads the Mariners in hitting at 306. He's a very impressive, powerful bat. I remember watching him take batting practice the last 2 times that these teams have matched up, and the ball just jumps off his bat. He's got a great stroke. He's very speedy.
Not to mention the beautiful hair flow he has.
He does have some very good flow. I got to give credit to anybody who can pull off great flow like that. It looks good on him when he's playing in the baseball field. But yeah, impressive hitter, very powerful bat, good speed. Definitely a player that the Firebirds are going to want to look out for today, as Jake Eater makes his first start for the Firebirds. The Vanderbilt kid who got a national champ on the roster, Scotty.
Broadcaster Josh White is going to come on at the end of the show to break down that and break down this Firebirds offense that's warming up right now behind us. But coming up next, Jacob Hurtubise is joining the show. Hey, welcome back here into the Bird's Eye View pregame show. Scotty Gange alongside Firebird Jacob Hurtubise. I know you used to be a Harwich Mariner. I'll ask you just shortly and sweetly, does that change the way you approach the game today?
No, I'm super excited for the game today.
Good.
A lot of those guys I grew pretty close with the 2 weeks that I was there, so I'm super excited to see them again and compete against them. Hopefully get a dub tonight.
It's a different sense of competition. I know it's kind of like when you play your college teammate in a game, but these guys were all your teammates just a few short weeks ago.
Yeah, I'm super excited. Super excited to play these guys. I'm looking forward to seeing how they do against me and how I do against them. So, really
I know the Firebirds are excited to have you in Orleans now. How's your time with Orleans been?
It's been awesome. They've welcomed me with open arms, which is what I really needed. I wasn't getting a whole lot of playing time over at Harwich just because of numbers. They had 7 outfielders, so I was playing like every other game, and now I'm being able to contribute a lot more over here. So I'm super excited to just be in the lineup and kind of helping the team win a little bit.
So the cool thing with you, I think that's the story for Jacob Hurtubise in the summer, is the fact that you were a Harwich Mariner, and now here you are thriving as an Orleans Firebird. But I want to talk about the fall, the winter, the spring, the story of you, because you're not only a student athlete, you are a student cadet athlete, if that's right, out of Army West Point.
Yeah, Army, the life is tough out there. Day in and day out, we're kind of continually grinding.
Yeah.
So being able to come out here in the Cape and kind of just enjoy summer of baseball, meeting new people, that it's been an awesome experience so
I was
far.
going to say, how is that? You know, instead of being 5 to 6, 6 to 7, something different every single day for every hour of the day, you just get to relax, play baseball, and hang out in the Cape.
Yeah, I kind of get to choose what I do in my
That's
morning.
a first for you.
Yeah, in my morning. So it's really awesome getting to wake up when I want. That's been really awesome.
What time are you sleeping until now?
I'm kind of
7?
I'm kind of an early bird, so
Yeah.
8:30. So I'm not the normal college student, I'd say, who goes at or wakes up at like 10:30.
I would think you've almost been bred for that now, and just your years at
Yeah,
Army, waking up at 5 and working from 5:30 to 6:30 or anything like that.
Yeah, it's definitely been a nice transition, and it'll be a rough transition when I have to go back to school in August.
So how is that for you? I watched your day in the life video, like I just told you, and you said I wake up at 5:55. I've got cleaning in the morning, platoon cleaning, and then you've got formation, and then class, and then breakfast, and then another class, and then lunch, and then dean's hour, and then class, and I'm running out of breath just talking about it. And then you play baseball for like 4 hours at the end of the day. How is that for you?
Like I said earlier, it's a grind every
Yeah.
single day. You kind of fall into a rhythm though, which is really nice, and it's kind of something that I enjoy having. That kind of everyday cycle that we go through. We wake up, we go to breakfast, we do this. It kind of drags on. It makes the day super long, but it's very rewarding, and I've seen dividends of that just in my life.
What especially in terms of that, specifically dividends?
I would say just like a lot of patience, being able to do things diligently, just daily tasks, talking to people. The Army is known to be a people business, so just all the interactions that I've been able to have with different officers, different peers. So I think that's just going to help me thrive later in the future.
You talk about later in the future, but I'm wondering in the past, were you a kid that grew up and always wanted to be at Army West Point and always had that dream and inspiration, or was it something that kind of came your senior year of high school?
Yeah, it kind of came my senior year of high school. I actually didn't even know what Army West Point was until I started getting recruited for baseball there. So kind of a crazy story. Growing up, nobody in my family in the military, and then here I am at Army West Point going into my senior year.
That's amazing. You're first
Almost
generation.
done. First generation, almost done.
Well, congratulations to you. I'm wondering, once you're done with school and baseball here too, you're without a doubt one of the best players in the country if you're here on the Cape. How do you balance that, a future in baseball and also in the Army?
Yeah, it's definitely a very difficult process to have to go through, a lot of difficult decisions that have to be made. I'm not going to dive too deep into it because I don't even know myself what's going to happen with the military, with baseball. So I'm just going to go out, play my hardest every single day, and hope it all pays off in the future.
I saw there was once where it was a kid from Navy. He said that he had 2 plan A's. He has an inspirational, amazing career headed in the Navy, and then also one in baseball. Knowing that in your heart, how does that make you feel?
It's tough because baseball, like growing up, like I said, baseball is the dream.
Yeah.
And then Army, like being able to serve the country is something that's kind of grown fond on me. Being able to have that selfless service, that passion to just serve others. So either way I go, it's going to be great. It's going to be a great opportunity. So I'm really looking forward to the future.
I couldn't let you go. My grandpa would never forgive me if I didn't give a proper salute to you. You got to tell me the exact way to do it.
So the thumb is on the index finger.
Okay.
And then it just goes straight up to the bill of the hat.
I'm not wearing a hat.
So then it's your eyebrow.
To my eyebrow, just like this.
And cant it inwards a little bit.
Like that?
The other way.
Like this.
Yep.
Jacob Hurtubise, thank you so much for the time. I really appreciate you, and thank you in the future for serving our country already now and then in the future as well.
Of course.
Yeah,
My
thanks
pleasure.
for the time. Yes, sir.
Hi, my name is Zach Kokoska. I'm an outfielder, and a fun fact about me is I grew up in the same town as Arnold Palmer.
Catcher for the Orleans Firebirds. Fun fact about me is I can finish a double cheeseburger in less than 30 seconds.
Welcome back into the Bird's Eye View pregame show. Again, Jacob Hurtubise was really, really cool. Josh White and I, we're going to talk, kind of go more in depth into that later, but right now we've got Thomas Cinzarella. And Thomas, you kind of saw it last night. I know we both did. The energy at Eldredge last night was really, really cool.
Yeah, it felt like, we're at Chatham on July 3rd, and you can tell the fans are really into it, and that's what kind of felt here like at Eldredge.
Yeah.
Ball hitting out in the gap, hear the gasp, and then all of a sudden, Trani or Hurtubise will chase down a ball on left center, and then the fans, they're in relief, and then they start clapping. So you could feel that, yes, the energy, they're trying to feed, the players trying to feed off that energy as well, because it really helps, It's almost like a basketball arena out here, where it's just a whole swing of a momentum swing and everything, and it was really cool to be around.
It was cool, and I kind of bring you on to talk about this because you've got the history with Eldredge Park. Growing up, you were one of the young kids in the stands fighting for a foul ball. You're one of the younger kids being a game day operations intern, being the broadcaster today. That's really cool. How is that for you?
Well, if you ask, me growing up, would I be a broadcaster here at Eldredge? I said, what are you talking about? I had no idea that would land. I wasn't
Shut
like one of
up.
those. I wasn't one of those people who was like, from middle school, I want to be a broadcaster and stuff like that. I actually want to go into baseball operations and, grow up here in the Cape. I never thought I would go into sports, until high school came around and college searches. And I'm like, well, what do you want to do with your life? Well, maybe baseball or sports sounds fun. So just going back to, Eldredge, I mean, it's one of the gems. Really nothing can beat it. And just growing up here has been a blessing. And, you can meet so many cool people out here in the crowd. Everybody out here has a story, which I think is really, really interesting. I've met, from being a game day intern, you get to talk with a lot of just different types of fans coming in. People have come across the country. People that come here at every game. People that I work at the golf course with come here, and, they always ask every day coming to work, how the birds doing. They want to know about the birds. People really care about their baseball. Just a quick story, one time, I was up there taking admissions, and a guy who came from Hawaii was here, and he knew Colton Wong when he played here because Colton Wong from the University of Hawaii.
Yeah.
And so he said something, I believe in a Hawaiian tongue or something. Colton understood it when he was taking IO. And so just cool little connections like that where, it's just unbelievable.
Really
Stories
is.
like that, yeah.
We're on the hill today. It's a special atmosphere, as always. Last night was fantastic, and I know every year at Eldredge it just seems to get better. I can say that. Being my first year, it seems absolutely fantastic. We're gonna jump into what we're gonna see tonight when broadcaster Josh White comes on. But Thomas, thanks for the time. And I know it's really, really cool for you, man.
It's good to be on the hill out here.
Oh,
Anytime.
it's good to be on the hill. It always is.
Fill the hill.
My name is Max Troiani. I play in the outfield. You're watching the Birds Broadcast Network.
My name is Zach Daniels. I play outfield, and a fun fact about me is I like Legos.
Hey, really do appreciate Jacob Hurtubise coming on the show. I know you kind of got to catch that last piece.
Oh,
of
yeah, that was awesome.
That was cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
He's a cadet, is what we
Yes,
found, is
yes.
the official term. But he's a good baseball player, too.
Yeah.
Not just a good human being, but a good baseball player. as well.
He's a cadet, a student, an athlete, and a star. Really, really cool to have him on there. But now we've got Josh White, and it's also very cool to have. It's much cooler to have him.
Yeah,
but it's very cool to
I
have
agree.
you. Yeah.
I gave you this cheesy line that I'm not just good looking when I
He's not
solved
just
the
good
problem.
looking.
So, but Jacob Hurtubise has everything covered. He's athletic too.
Yeah, he really is. 4 stolen bases last night. He was fantastic. The offense last night was really special for Orleans. 6 runs, and it was the first time in a long time that you really got to see it click in a win for them. Tonight, Josh, what are we expecting to see?
Honestly, I'm expecting the opposite. Now, it's kind of funny. You wonder why that you'd go from scoring 6 runs to maybe just a few the next night. It's because Harwich is a great pitching staff. They're the
They really
best
are.
pitching staff in the Cape Cod Baseball League. The Birds are 3rd. So now you would think, and they've already faced off twice this summer, that the best pitching staff in the league and the 3rd best pitching staff. Now it was reversed the last time, funny enough. Orleans was the best at the time, and Harwich was 3. You would think it would lend itself to some pitching games.
Yeah.
No, it lends itself to a couple of offensive
No!
games. Here's the stat of the day for you.
Josh's stat of the day.
Simple. It's a simple one. 14 combined runs in 2 games. The last 2 games,
Really?
Firebirds and Mariners played 14 combined runs. I think we'll see less than that today.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Pitching-wise for Orleans, I know last night, Adam Seminaris, he pitched a solid 3 innings. Isaac Escada stole the show, stole the last week for Firebirds baseball. But what about tonight?
Tonight, it's another lefty. So
Yeah.
Orleans very successful with left-handers last night on the mound. Jake Eater gets the ball tonight. His first start in the Cape was a reliever a couple nights ago for the Birds through a scoreless frame in his first start for the Firebirds. But I'm excited to see this. He finished this season at Vanderbilt. He was the one that had the ball in his hands
Yeah.
to finish off the national championships. That's a pretty cool accolade
That really is
for
cool.
him, that he was the last guy to have the ball in his hands.
That's a small
win the
fraternity.
Oh, it's a very, very small fraternity. But again, another fastball guy who's going to locate his pitches in and out. He's going to use that changeup and curveball as well. And I wouldn't be surprised if this is maybe not a 6-inning outing like we saw from Escada last night. Maybe 3 or 4 innings for Eater. Again, he just pitched a few nights ago out of the bullpen. And now since Escada went 6 innings, you have a fresh pen. And I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Angelo Smith make his Firebirds debut tonight as well.
Away from the game tonight, away from really kind of the past few games, you've been around the Orleans Firebirds for all of the 2018 season, all of the 2019 season, being one of the closest watchers of these guys. To this date, what's the biggest thing that has just, I guess, impressed you from the Orleans Firebirds?
The kind of just steadiness of everyone. You lose 6 games in a row. It's tough. That can take a toll on you. But they're pretty steady. I can't think of more than one day where like, oh my goodness, what is this team?
Right.
And Kelly Nicholson talks about it a lot when you chat with him or Alec talks to him after the game. He says there's not too many games I can think of this summer where we were out of it or we showed up flat.
Yeah.
I mean, he mentions a YD game here or there, but other than that, they've been in every ball game. They went down 8-1 against Chatham during that losing streak. You go, oh, this game's over. No, they came back and they put the tying run 90 feet away. So I think that steadiness and that calm is good, and then they're adaptable as well. I think that's the big thing. You saw last night. 9 combined runs in the first 3 innings took an hour 40. Then the next 6 innings took another hour 15, and it was a completely different ball game.
Right.
It felt like a tale of 2 different games.
Really
so I
was.
think they're very adaptable. They're very steady. Nothing throws them off too much.
Looking forward to seeing that again tonight, and we will see that again tonight.
I got one more
I was just
thing.
gonna go in.
No.
Yes.
We have to wish a congratulations.
Two.
This went right over the head. The temp players, they're all permanent guys.
Really? I did not know that.
Everyone from here on out will be here the rest of the summer.
Hey, that's awesome.
Congratulations to the ones who stuck it out.
That's
and made it
really
this far.
cool. Okay, yeah, we're gonna end the show with big smiles on our face. Wow. Who cares about the game? I'm just kidding. It's Harwich and it's Orleans coming up right here on the Birds Broadcast Network.